Hello, once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back after, oh dear lord, 72 days. I've had a good holiday. I hope yours was enjoyable. Today, what I'd like to do is have a discussion about the human mind and what happens when you deny yourself things and when you permit yourself things. Right? This all came about in my mind from a story about this rich, like, I don't mean rich as in, oh, we won a couple millions. I mean rich. Like he had money with a capital M attached to it. Just freaking out, and I believe he killed a, I'm not sure what it was. I think it was a panda. Yeah. Yeah, he actually, oh no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't a panda. It was some sort of endangered animal. Was not a panda. Yeah. No, he killed it just to eat it. Right? Not because he didn't have any other options, not because he killed it to survive, but because he wanted to be able to say that I ate this endangered species. I contributed to the death of this species. And that's what happens when you can afford yourself anything. I'd like to speak about excess and just hedonism in general, right? But more than that, the people that come into this kind of money are, for the most part, unhinged but not too far off the beaten path of humanity. No, I'm going to talk about the children, the kids born in immense wealth, the kids who have all of their wants and desires and needs met at the drop of a hat. As soon as the idea that, oh, I want this thing occurs to them, the thing appears in front of them. Right? Because these are the dangerous individuals. These are the people that become the most unhinged. These are the people that go from, Mommy, can I have the latest 30 new Lego sets, to, Mommy, can I build a murder dungeon in our basement, please? Those are the types of people that I'm talking about. So, imagine this. You're born into this sort of privilege, right? And I'm not talking about society. I'm not talking about the privilege that we hear about on Twitter where, oh, you're privileged because of this or that or whatever. I mean truly privileged. All of your whims become reality. It's like having a fucking genie, right? Daddy's bank account is the lamp that you rub. But from an early age, from birth, basically, these people are subjected to every sensation that a person can have. Every... how do I state this? Every excess that they want, every sensation that they want to feel, every sensation that they don't want to feel is eradicated from the face of the earth. So, from this very young age, their plate is full of whatever they want, right? Their metaphorical plate is full of all of their dreams, all of their wants, needs, what have you. And those needs and wants and such change over time as a regular human being does, right? We go from wanting toys to wanting video games to wanting other things. Cars, stuff like that, right? Adult toys. But what happens when these children hit a certain age and they've experienced everything, right? You want to go to paradise on Earth. All you have to do is say so. And maybe 5-6 hours, depending on the flight times, later, you're there. You are standing on the most pristine beach you've ever seen, with gleaming white sands and crystal clear ocean in front of you, with a pina colada in your hand. Right? You want to sleep with beautiful women or men every night, and boom, you've got it. You can do that. But what happens when those sensations become not enough anymore? What happens when everything you've experienced stops giving you that feel-good brain juice that you're chasing? Those endorphins, that adrenaline rush from experiencing something new because you've done it all before you hit your 40s or whatever. Whichever age you've done it all at. Well, you start to go for more niche interests. You start to, as aforementioned, you start to go hunting for things that shouldn't be hunted. You start craving things that are forbidden, because you've never had anything forbidden to you in your life. Now, this brings me to an important point, the point of denial. Denial to oneself and denial from others is an important developmental tool in a child's life. Hearing the word no is crucial to both mental and emotional maturity later on. You hear the word no and your brain hits a wall. It just hits a wall. It's like, oh, I've been denied. Okay. Huh. So this must be something either special, taboo, or whatever, right? A normal thing, like, I want to run around the street naked. No, you fucking can't do that. Well, oh, okay, sheesh. All right, there's the line, right? There's the line. But what happens when you don't have that line? The line doesn't exist. Well, that's when you get people like Jeffrey Dahmer. People like, not that he was a rich guy, but, you know, the line is just not there. You'll do whatever it is to get that sensation. Jeffrey Epstein would be a better example, right? Rich as fuck, can have anything he wants in life, right? Beautiful women, men, anything. Sports cars, enough to fill a football stadium. But he chooses to be this animal that preys on children, because that is a line that he knows exists. That is a societal line for everyone. Which is my next point. The point of societal lines versus personal lines. Right? The lines that you know you can't cross in society are different from your own personal ones. I'll give an example of something silly. A silly personal line of mine is I will deny myself my hobbies, right? Like Magic the Gathering and Warhammer. I'll deny myself those hobbies for my family. Right? That's the line. If my family wants something, I will not put their needs and wants behind mine. It's always ahead. That is my personal line. And then there's, running around the street naked. That is a societal line. But what happens when you become so rich, so influential, so ingrained with the right type of people that societal lines start to disappear? Well, you get Epsteins, you get people that we don't even know the name of, right? Because they are in the limelight, but at the same time they're not, because they're adjacent. They're people adjacent to people that are in the spotlight. They're people manipulating things from the background, right? They stand in the background of photos. They disappear into the crowd, while the crowd is concentrated on some famous person. That's how they survive. Which brings up a good argument. Should personal wealth be capped at some point? Should an amount of money that you have be the line? That is your final amount of money. You cannot go past this. We will take whatever the hell else you make. You've won capitalism. Congratulations. Now you can go home and jerk off with that expensive endangered caviar or whatever. Right? But no. No. Money is the facilitator for these depraved acts that these people start to crave. Because if the human mind is good at something, it is good at making connections. Anything that gives you endorphins becomes a good behavior. It's rewarded. We're not too different from dogs. Give us a reward for something that we do, and, well, ooh, that's a good thing. It's kind of sad in some way, because some things that people work toward for a lifetime, to these people, it's a weekend, right? Like, I personally, before I die, would like to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or whatever the heck it's called there, the La Tour de Pise. I've always only heard it in French. Anyways, I would like to see that in person before I die. So that's a goal that I'm going toward. Now, these people, they have that idea, and by, it's 1 a.m. right now, by 3 a.m. they're, already going to a plane and going off. Right? Another goal of mine is, when I'm retired, I'd like to buy an RV, take my wife, and just roam around Canada for a while. That's a goal. The lack of unattainable, not unattainable over a lifetime, but immediately speaking, unattainable goals is what drives these people to monstrous acts. hell, cannibalism wouldn't be too far off from these people. And the worst thing is that these people are sociopaths, but it's that whole nature versus nurture kind of thing, right? What do you do when none of your behavior is ever reprimanded? Well, you start to push the line. Kids crave, they crave that adult supervision. They crave that line that adults set in the sand. They know, you stop right here, you will go no further, you have acted abysmally. They crave that. They crave that support. They crave that. In French, we call it un encadrement. Right? It's basically it's framing. It's a frame around your child, right? It's, you work within this frame, and anything outside of it is none of your concern. They crave the routine of it. They crave the stability of all of it, because to them, the world is chaotic. To them, the world makes no friggin' sense. And I'm speaking from personal experience, right? You don't need to be... I've been harping on, the rich, because it allows them to do crazier and crazier stuff. But also, anywhere in society, if you don't frame the children correctly, you get sociopaths. You get people that will do anything for attention, anything for the wrong or the right kind of attention. You get influencers, basically. These people that will do anything for a drop of that 15 minutes of, well, now it's more like 15 seconds, but, that 15 minutes of fame, of people acknowledging them, because their parents let them do whatever the heck they wanted. There was no line. There was no taboo. There was nothing. And when you don't have that framework in place as an adult, going, okay, these are the parameters, this is what I work in, then you're directionless. You have no idea what the heck you're doing. You just get pulled in all these different directions, and you're super easy to influence. Because your whims have been influencing you your whole life. You've never had a thought that you put down. You've never had an idea that you thought, that is outside of my parameters. I'm not going to do it. You've never had a desire that you yourself denied yourself, because you had that framework in place. And that is the most dangerous thing ever to happen to a society. When one or two people are like this, it's fine. It goes under the radar. But right now, we're raising a whole generation of them. Like, this whole idea of soft parenting. Like, no, I'm my kid's friend. Yeah, until they wake up one morning, think, I should stab mommy and daddy, and then just fucking do it. Because they don't have that block in their head going, think about this. Is it a good idea to stab mommy and daddy? No. Okay, I will not stab mommy and daddy. It's ridiculous to think that some people don't have that, but it's the reality. It's reality. And the situation is getting worse and worse because People refuse to go, yeah, I smack my kids when they deserve it. I got the absolute crap beaten out of me as a kid. Now, all of it was not deserved. A lot of it was abuse. I'm going to admit that. Yes, a lot of it is abuse. But giving your kid a smack on the ass when it's the third freaking time that you've told them to do the thing, and they refuse to do the thing, well, it's justifiable. Or when little Timmy is going for the stove while it's on and you smack his hand away because, well, fire hot. You know, it could be, trust me, it could be worse. My father was the type to go, wait, don't stop him. There you go. Just burnt your freaking fingers, huh? You ain't gonna be able to use those for a week. Gonna do that again, stupid? That's what my father was. An asshole. Look, spare the rod, spoil the child is a very real thing, and when the child is overly spoiled, well, fucking neighborhood cats start to die. You know? So, yeah. No, it's all about the sensations and self-denial. And I don't mean self-denial up to the point of being repressed. I don't mean that at all. Like, here's the line, right? If you want to do drugs, do them. Do them. But don't do those drugs because mommy and daddy didn't love you, right? Be informed. Don't be stupid. If you want to go out and blow 16 guys, be intelligent about it. At least have them tested. You know? It's the difference between being responsible, because you had those lines and now you're choosing informed choice. You're making an informed choice to go beyond those lines and break the frame that was that as an adult you yourself constructed around yourself. Then that's perfectly fine. Right? It's not perfectly fine as in, yeah, go do whatever you want and kill people and stuff like that. It's not. But it's better than not knowing what you're doing is wrong. Because that's the problem here. These kids don't know that what they're doing is wrong. Because they've never been told it is. They don't know. And as an adult, they don't know anymore. Because everybody just says, oh, yes, you can do whatever you want. And again, that's the trouble with this type of wealth. But that's just, like, my opinion, man. What do I know? I'm a freaking hippie. You know? My ideas might be a little out there. But I believe that decency should be taught at an early age. You're not your child's friend. You can't be. If you want your kid to survive in this world, you have to be their parent. Not their friend, not their buddy, not their playmate. You have to be mommy and daddy. That's it. That's your role. That is the role you chose when you popped out the crotch goblins. You know, it's not fun. Responsibility is never fun. Almost never fun. You know? That's why it's responsibility. If you're not capable of being responsible, then that's the problem. That's the whole problem. People have probably almost never said no to you. People have never taught you to think. You need to teach your children to think before they act. And if every single whim and wish and, pleasure is at their disposal 24/7, without them having to make that crucial step, without them taking that first crucial step of thinking, do I really need this? Is it a good idea for me to do this or have this? Then you failed as a parent. You failed as a parent if your child, now turned adult, cannot make the decision to not fuck with people. That's it. Like, if he cannot make the decision, he or she cannot make the decision to maybe not drink that gallon of vodka and vomit all over the bouncer at a club. Maybe don't take all of the pills that are offered to you as if they were candy. Then you failed your child, and you have failed society by producing that type of person. But these are now extremist views, right? Like the view that your kid is not king. Your kid is not, a deity. And it shouldn't think that it is. Your child by the age of 7 should know at least 3 things that it's not good at, and that it's not getting a prize for. And I'm saying this from a place of participation trophies here. Like, that started when I was in school. Ugh. And you know what? It actually made us feel worse. It actually made us feel bad for us, because it's like, oh, here, you're a loser, so we're just going to give this to you. And it made us feel bad for the kid that came in first. Like, my buddy Alex was really, really good at running. I think he went to the Olympics or something. Last I heard, he was training for it. But he was an excellent runner. He had the proper form. He was fast as fuck. Like, the kid could run. Like, run. And during, those little triathlons they have at school and stuff like that, they give out prizes and stuff. I don't know if they still do it, but back then they used to. You stand there at the podium or whatever, a little stage thing in the gym. Not even sure if they still have those. It was usually like behind a curtain in the corner of the gym. Anyways, you stood there and you got your prize, right? You came in first. Good job. The year that they introduced participation trophies was the year that Alex stopped he stopped trying so hard. Like, he didn't care anymore. It's like, I'm gonna get the same medal, because they gave like little bronze kind of medals with a hand holding a torch. I still remember the freaking medal. And he said, well, if I'm gonna get the same medal as everybody else, why bother? Why bother trying? Like, he walked one of the races at one point. Like, he walked it. He didn't care anymore. And that's the thing. You have to make achievements seem special. You have to make your child run after things. Right? Run after it. Get after it. Be hungry for it. But if everybody else is getting the same thing at the end of the day, just to be, quote unquote fair, which is not fair, then your kid's going to go, well, screw it. If I put in huge amounts of effort or the minimum amount I can, I'm going to get the same thing. So I'm just going to sit on my butt and get the reward anyways. And that is the saddest thing ever. And on a personal anecdote, I used to box. I used to box. That was my passion. And at some point, I stopped. Because everyone was getting congratulated in the same way, like as if they won. Right? Like as if they won the match. And I'm like, okay, so if I'm going to get the same amount of praise if I sit on my ass over there, then if I'm in the ring getting my nose busted open, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother. Kidding me? It's important for a society to have people that want to pour out that sweat, that blood, those tears. But if they're all rewarded the same way, whether they fail or they succeed, what's the point? That all comes back to my point of earlier. Your job is not to make life easy for your kids. Your job is to provide them with the basic building blocks of an adult life. You feed them, you clothe them, you educate them, and then you release them into the wild with the tools necessary to go, okay, I've got this. I've got this. And if they fail, if they fall flat on their faces, but they tried their absolute best, then you've succeeded as a parent anyways. If you see them putting in that effort, putting in those hours of grueling work and effort, and they still fail, and they have the maturity to go, well, that's just how life goes sometimes. And they don't throw a tantrum, and they don't blame others, and they don't go, oh, I'm not who I want to be because of this guy or that guy, or because I didn't have this growing up, or because mommy and daddy didn't hug me enough, or blah, blah, blah. If they have the maturity to accept and see their own failure and go, okay, I'm going to take a minute. It's like in boxing. You get soundly punched in the head, right? Like you get a good shot in the head. Your ears are ringing, your eyes are watering, and your whole vision is kind of blurry here. Like, okay, whoa, give me a minute. I've got this. Just give me a minute. Ooh. That's how life is. Yeah, you get punched, you get hit, you get thrown to the floor. But, it also comes down to my favorite quote from Rocky. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Resilience. Resilience is taught. It's not acquired over a lifetime of getting whatever the fuck you want. Like that girl that sued her parents for wanting her to get the fuck out of their house. Like, that's ridiculous. But it's also their fault because they didn't give her the tools. They didn't give her the knowledge of, hey, at some point, you're going to have to do all of this on your own. And it's going to suck. And you're not going to want to do it. But you're going to have to because you're an adult. And that's what adults do. You know, adults let go of the video game in the middle of playing it to go take out the laundry or take out, whatever. It's just what they do. And it took me a really, really long time to figure that out. Because, well, again, participation trophies. Even if we thought they were all bullshit, the human mind is great at making connections when you get a reward. That's why participation trophies and certificates are so insidious. They teach your kids subconsciously that minimal effort and not going as hard as you can gets rewards. It's conditioning. And it sucks. Like not letting your kid fall face first, right? The first few times your kid gets up on his own and starts to make those wobbly, jiggly little steps on those very uncertain legs and falls down, how do you react? Well, you go, okay, you assess the situation. Did he fall flat on his face? No? Okay. Alright, he fell on his butt. Okay. Is the child crying right now? Or is he looking to you to know what the reaction is here? Like, am I hurt? Am I in trouble? I don't know. What happened here? Now, if you look at him and smile and go, congratulations, you made your first steps. That creates connection between, oh, okay, I did the thing, I failed at the thing, but I tried my hardest. So I get a pat on the back. Awesome. Cool. That makes them want to make maximum effort their default. Right? Now, if you put your kid on his feet and he immediately just falls on his ass without even without his legs even flexing at all to keep himself up, then no, there's no congratulations, there's no, oh, bravo. No. Pick him up. All right, let's try this again. This time, use those muscles. And yeah, it's all about making the right connections in your child's brain. And I'm by no means an expert. I am a father, but, that does not make me an expert, right? These are just observations. Most of the people that I see today that are fucking sociopaths are people that have been given everything, every opportunity to succeed, and yet sat on their ass. These are people that got their parents to pay for bullshit degrees at prestigious universities, and now are wondering why no one respects them. It's like, okay, well, you literally did the least you could do. Got a bullshit degree that, basically you sat through class for, and now you want us to kiss your ass? Like, okay, cool. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it's getting more and more ridiculous every single day. You see these people on social media. You know, the kids on TikTok going doing the most asinine things for those crumbs of attention, validation. Basically, they're doing it for a participation trophy. Right? And you have the other people going, well, alright, I'm just going to follow this trend because, well, you know, the stuff I actually put effort into isn't doing so well, but that 15-second clip of that person putting a freaking, I don't know, what's the latest trend, putting a freaking pan on their head and banging it with a hammer is doing fucking banger. It's blowing up or whatever. And that's exactly what participation trophies did. You know? It was asinine. And yeah, no, the whole point of this rambling thing that I'm doing is to convey the fact that if you get everything you want in life without any effort, you're going to become an adult that, well, expects the same thing. And it's all dandy if you have the resources to make sure that that happens, but then there are the people that grew up in a normal, stable financial household, but they're not rich. They don't have the money to, you know, keep that privilege going after they leave the nest. And that's when life just whacks them right in the face. And that's where you get the freak out videos and the privileged crying videos and all of that other stuff that's ridiculous. And it makes you feel so freaking bad for them. Not because you pity them, but because it's like, oh, wow, you did not get prepared for this. Oof. You did not get the right frame for this. Like, you were not framed correctly. You were not educated correctly in the ways of the world, and that's on your parents. Mostly, it's on your parents. But at some point during all of our lives, we have to come to the conclusion that, okay, the outside world is not like my house. You know, you're at school, and you should be learning this. Because at school, it's not like at home. You get reprimanded. You get, you know. But somehow, it doesn't click. Somehow it doesn't click in place because these kids, they see all of these people doing all this stuff on social media, and it's like, oh, I can do that too, not knowing that behind the scenes, these kids have daddy's wallet or, you know, something to back it up, right? Like, oh, look, I'm on a yacht. Yeah, the yacht is under his father's name, and, you know, all the money that he's throwing is, it's either fake money that he bought on Amazon, or it's, you know, daddy's money. And these kids take these videos and they idolize them, and they go, oh, hey, why? Well, if he can do that, then why can't I? And it creates this generation of, I want to get whatever I want without working for it, which participation trophies paved the way for. The first step was introducing participation trophies, and then it got out of control. It just got way out of control. It's fucking ridiculous. But anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it. This is a 45 minutes. My gosh. Yeah. So 72 days without posting, and I hit you with this one. Aren't I wonderful? So yeah, I fell down a certain rabbit hole of well, basically this rabbit hole and the rabbit hole of trauma movies, which I will be making videos of because they're really interesting. Like they're bad movies, but they're that good kind of bad. They're campy kind of bad. And there's some weird freaking stuff that happens in them. Like cameos of people that you would never expect. Like, oh, okay, there's Stan Lee for some reason. Cool. Hey, Lemmy, what the hell? Stuff like that. Like, holy crap, it's Ron Jeremy. That one shocked the heck out of me. Yeah. So I'm going to make a video about those. There are currently, I don't know, maybe, let me check here. Because to find these movies, I basically had to go into, like, forums. There's 160 of them. I basically had to go into, like, forums and exchange places like, oh, does anyone have this? I have this to trade, and blah blah blah. It's like, oh yeah, I have all 4 Nukem High movies. Cool. I have the Toxic Avenger, like all 4 of them, or Psycho Sleepover, or Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. Redneck Zombies, Shakespeare, Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD. That one, man, I had to look for that one, like, a lot. Video Demons Do Psychotown, which actually is one of my favorites. A lot of them are very much exploitation movies, like of the 80s. So yeah, look forward to that. They got some good stuff. Look forward to that, and yeah, I'll try not to fall off the face of the earth for 3 months at a time anymore. Notice that I did say try, not do. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and click the like button if you liked it. I'm thinking that's what it's for, click it before it's gone, like the dislike button. Yeah. Bye for now. And, don't forget to be careful out there. A lot of weird people. A lot of weird stuff happening.